And I wonder some people they think someone's being ostrich-sized.
From an ostrich.
No. They are ostrich-sized.
Ostrich
They're
sized.
just big.
Oh, they're big.
Yeah.
They
And
could
they
be.
may be ostracized for being ostrich-sized, but you never know.
You don't. How would you know?
I think you would be, especially if you were shaped like an ostrich, but you were human.
That'd be crazy. You might actually then be ostracized because you look like an ostrich and you're so big.
Yeah.
There would be an irony in there.
Okay, yeah, so the irony. But this is what I said. I said yes about 2 minutes ago.
Mike, I think I'm a little bit...
I think everything's quiet.
It is? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Now you're really loud.
Hey.
That's weird.
I didn't even change my level.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
How's that happening?
I was changing my headphones.
Oh, you were? Okay. Hello.
Okay, do you need everything up and down? Or?
I think that's good, actually. That's good.
Okay, hey.
That's sounding good.
Hi.
Hello.
Make sure everything... I think this needs to go down a little bit. And I think very soon we'll get another... I don't know if these tripods are sturdy enough to have one light on top of each camera.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about having 2 lights.
That might be nice. Equal light distribution.
Yeah, because right now, like, this side of your face is dark, and there's the shadow and all that.
Yeah. That would be helpful. Or even getting lights. I don't know. Maybe we can't really. We got this here, so we can't really do side lights, but...
Yeah.
Oh, well.
We could do, like, a backlight.
We could.
Like a light from here. Just shooting right up over here.
I like that idea.
There's George.
There's George. There's the Pope. Hopefully people don't mind. I can at least hear the cars driving by. It was my idea to leave the door cracked because it gets hot in here, but it might be my fault that if you can hear cars driving by or hear stuff in the distance, that might be on me. I thought it would be interesting. Maybe we could, like, hear some outside people talking. It would be like we're doing a podcast in a park, but I don't necessarily know how that's going to turn out. It could, there we go. Got some more airflow, too.
Trying.
It could turn out bad, but, we want to be comfortable while we're doing the podcast, and if you guys have to hear a little bit of background noise so that we can be more comfortable, I think that's a fine sacrifice, and the people at home shouldn't be little bitches about it.
Yeah, it's about time someone said something like that.
I'm just standing up for people who do podcasts because I think the audience sometimes gets a little bit too, too in their heads. They think, like, everything has to be perfect, like I'm hearing some background noise, but you don't know if you're hearing background noise because it's making the people in the podcast feel more comfortable, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. What Jesse's saying is you don't know anything.
That's right.
About anything. But that's just, that's inherent. That's what happens. Yeah. You're born with not knowing anything.
Even us, we don't know everything. You'll never know everything.
You'll never know everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible to know something. Because, like, check this out. There is this world that we live in that has certain laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not like judicial laws, but like physical laws. And I was just thinking how everything that gets created in the world is based on the fact that there are these physical laws in place, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting because, like, even being, like, you're being aware of what's going on in your life and what's going on in your body has to be filtered through the physical laws of the world. Like, your brain function happens through chemical reactions and through everything is happening in this the framework of the physical laws, and we're just here participating.
Yeah. There's some things that can't really be avoided too. You know, like some things, if you do something, there's usually like there's a set outcome that'll sometimes happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. You know,
Like what?
like let's say back to the first example, we closed the doors in the van, right?
Yeah.
The outcome will probably be that it's going to heat up because there's no airflow coming through. You know, there's no cracked doors.
It's already gonna heat up, by the way.
It is, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we can only mitigate it so much. You know, there's no AC in here. It's just opening the doors, trying to get airflow. But regardless, it's like there's some things that just have to happen.
What if we litigate it?
Litigate it?
Yeah, we sue the sun.
I'm down to sue the sun.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of shit this week.
Uh-huh.
Heating things up.
Yeah. You know the song, have you seen Pitch Perfect?
I haven't. No.
Well.
I've heard of the Cups song, though. The da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Is that from that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Cup
that's
song.
from the movie,
Anna
yeah.
Kendrick. And she was on Broadway when she was like 12 years old, and then she ended up doing that movie. But Pitch Perfect, there's a song in there called I Saw the Sun. And we'll make a remix.
I sued the sun.
I sued the sun.
I like that idea, yeah. Because sometimes the sun, you know, I'm appreciative towards the sun, okay? I like the sun, but sometimes he can be a little bit of a dick. Or she. Let's call it, for, you know, just neutrality purposes, it. Mr. Sun, it, they. Yeah, the sun, they. They have been very nice.
But hold on. Jesus is the Son of God. And in some religions, you know, the idea of Jesus can be found in other religions. Okay? Not exactly like some sacrifice and some other relationship stuff. But in the astrological religions, Jesus is the Son.
He is the sun.
Mm-hmm.
The only sun.
Yeah, the flaming ball in the sky.
Interesting. So what you're saying is some people might even be mad that I'm saying the sun is they. They might be like, no, the sun's he.
The
like,
sun is Jesus. But people say God made, on the sixth day, God made humans. And then he, capital H-E, rested on the seventh day. So, look at this, though. Ariana Grande has a song called God as a Woman. And people say God is female. So, God is the very first trans, you know, beyond human. It's the first trans deity. It's you know, it's pretty forward thinking. It's progressive.
It is. And I was just going to say, what if Jesus didn't have a penis?
Oh, shit.
What if he was like a bearded lady? Or maybe he cut off his dick and balls at some point in his life, and he was like, nah.
Yeah, he ended up dating the daughter of a Russian dad in high school.
Yeah, he accidentally got her pregnant.
He
right?
He got her pregnant, and he didn't follow her wishes and the dad's wishes of getting a job. He stayed in school, and he had his dick and balls cut off.
Yeah. He ran away and started a religion, and the dad was like, "Nah, you got to work," and he was like, "No, it's religion time," and he was just like,
"Yep," and that is God. In this story.
And shout out to the Hot Ones episode.
Yeah.
Go watch it. You know, just a little hidden thing in there.
Yeah.
That's if you want references, you gotta go back in time a little bit.
Hot
you
Ones
know?
episode. You were a picture during that, right?
I think I was. Yeah, that was when the camera cut out.
Yep, I think we're good right now.
We're good? Nice.
Yeah, I changed the settings, so we'll just check periodically that everything's still working.
Nice.
I saw the sun. But okay, so I want to know this. Everybody has, uh, I think, if you go to dinner and people are like, don't talk about politics or religion, basically, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard that many times where people
Yeah.
are like, just keep it, I guess in the climate that we live in, uh, some conversations can become very like very high in tension because everyone is very
High intention or contains much tension.
um I guess both. Doesn't it? I guess maybe they're kind of different meanings. It contains a lot of tension. It
No,
is
intention
a
is
high
like having
tension.
intent,
Oh, I
uh,
meant like
thinking in advance, having foresight.
I definitely meant more so like having a lot of like tension. Like
Yeah.
there's a big
But you
build
just
up.
said intention. So,
Intention.
yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I mean like high tension. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of high tension
Yeah.
when you're talking about certain topics. I think
But
because
why do you even want to be around those people if you can't say what they're thinking?
I don't know. I think it's a problem I think today because we're very polarized where and I think people can be polarized and still have conversations, but for some reason with that
Yeah, they better wear
polarity,
some winter jackets because it's gonna get cold.
yeah, they better.
Yeah.
They better put on winter jackets and also be willing to share jackets,
Yeah.
right? And if a jacket is too big for you,
Yeah.
then just say I disagree with your jacket choice.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna like hate you for liking that jacket.
Hey,
But
this isn't racist, but I don't like yellow jackets.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
I would say that's okay. Maybe I like yellow jackets, or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't like
well,
them.
they're a
but
dangerous insect. You
they
better
are.
prepare yourself.
Yeah. But if I said like I love them, like you could
Okay.
say like
Yeah.
we could like
I
come
respect
to
your
like
decision.
yeah we could come to like an agreement in the middle. I think
Mhm.
that's what needs to happen in civil discourse today. I think like people need to start, just if someone says something and you're like wrong, you don't have to be like that person's the worst. I hate him. Like or like be like why does he think like that? That makes me so angry. You can kind of just be like okay, let's just
Yeah.
come to agree to disagree, or we can have a little like discussion, a little debate, but you don't have to make it such a big event to where it's like like these people hate each other now, or if people
Yeah.
could just discuss things, and I think it would be a better place to live on this earth.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's I feel like everybody talks about this, so I don't know how to like have a fresh perspective without just rehashing other people's things, but it's basically false information. This rule even applied in the 80s, right? And there wasn't as much false information from the internet. And sometimes it's fun to just talk about Chinese food or talk about, baseball or whatever. But yeah, I don't know how to say like it's just like what like so I've heard some people talk about like I have this social anxiety around, this group of friends that I have. And one perspective that I heard somebody say is like maybe you have social anxiety because you don't belong around these people. And you need to find a group of people that is sustainable and a positive influence on your life. So, if you want to stay in groups you don't belong, then don't talk about politics or religion. That's what I think.
I mean, in a perfect world, different groups would be able to coexist together and have discussions without
I know.
such intense what do you describe it? It's it goes beyond just having a disagreement, right? It goes into territory of like if someone doesn't agree with what the group believes, they are immediately an outsider and someone who can't be trusted or thinks in a flawed manner, right?
Yeah.
They're immediately looked
Ostracized.
yeah, they're ostracized, and not only they're thought of being of a lesser intelligence. Sometimes they're just not of a clear mind, which is I think a little bit sad that that happens when people can connect on so many other things, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and it is like rehashed. Like, I I can't probably even list all the people who said this take before on an online setting, right?
Yeah.
That we're becoming polarized and that's really bad. And why can't we coexist, right?
Coexist.
Coexist.
You know the sticker.
Oh, is that a bumper sticker? I think I've seen it before.
We'll just put up on the screen here, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Okay,
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay, and you have seen it.
I have. Yes.
And I wonder some people they think, someone's being ostrich sized.
From an ostrich.
No, they are ostrich sized.
Ostrich.
They're
sized.
just big.
Oh, they're big.
Yeah.
They
and
could
they
be.
may be ostracized for being ostrich sized, but you never know.
You don't. How would you know?
I think you would be, especially if you were shaped like an ostrich, but you were human.
That'd be crazy. You might actually then be ostracized because you look like an ostrich and you're so big.
Yeah.
It would be an irony in there.
Okay, yeah, so the irony. But this is what I said. I said yes about 2 minutes ago. I'm not saying that you have to have every opinion the same as everybody else, but if you can say your opinion and respect other people's opinions, then that's cool. You can hang out. But all I'm saying is, like, if you're holding back like these key principles that you hold or you believe in, and you are withholding those in social interactions for people who are your friends, maybe not in a workplace, but if you're holding those back in those scenarios, then you're not going to really see what kind of people you're actually around. You're just going to be around people who also follow the same social conventions. You don't get to know people. So, you know.
Yeah, and for instance, if my opinion was, and I really don't like, for instance, Mark Zuckerberg, right? I'm pretty much, one could say, I feel like if they were gonna like challenge me on like, but what about you following that practice? They might say something like, well, why are you being like, fuck Mark Zuckerberg, right? Why? But here's the thing: there's also another side to this, and I'm just thinking of this now. When someone's doing something that I view as like extremely damaging, right? And there's like physical evidence that damaging stuff is happening off of this person, or like some people like. That pharmaceuticals guy, what's his name? Everybody hated him because he acted like he was a douche, and he knew people hated him and he liked it. He
Dr.
thrived
Phil,
off
who
of
are you
it.
talking about?
He went to jail, and I can't remember what his name is. Oh, damn, I can't believe I can't remember his name. But people did not like him, but he played into it. He basically acted like a supervillain in real life because he thought it was, maybe it was the only way he knew how to act, but he fed off of people's hate, and quite frankly, whenever I saw him, I also was like, I hate this guy. Like, he's the worst. Like, he's selling these pharmaceuticals. He raises the price. He admits to just being a greedy bastard who doesn't care about human life and motivizes just profit and gains off of anything else, So, I would say that, right? But then, where's the line where, so, if someone has an opinion, right, and said, like, I like that guy, right? I might have
sexually or
anyway,
Okay.
or like even like personality wise, and just saying like, well, I think that guy, or I think it's right that he would, even if someone like just had the opinion, which is a really weird opinion to have, but like I think that him like raising drug prices that are necessary for some people to live is fine, and I love it, right? If someone said that, I think that's a really bad opinion, right? But then it's such an extreme opinion. It's like I'm trying to rationalize how I would meet in the middle. Like there's different opinions where it's like less subtle, where I would like disagree with somebody. Somebody might say like, well, I think this, like this political opinion. And I'd be like, all right, we agree to disagree, right? But when someone would go far enough to actually just straight up say like, I don't value human life. I think we should just kill half the population. If someone had that opinion, there's an extreme outside of both sides, like both sides, there's an extreme where it's like most people would agree it's ridiculous, right? So then how would you couldn't possibly have like civil discourse with that person, because you'd be like, but that, Like what?
But
Like
what you're saying, civil discourse is like that makes it sound like so, like so sterile. It makes it sound like it's a scientific process, civil discourse, as opposed to you know what I'm saying. Instead of just like having a conversation, you know, if somebody is a sociopath, you can learn based on what their beliefs are that you don't want to be around that person, and you may want to take other action to prevent them from doing things that are going to endanger other people. But if they are not mentally unstable in a severe way, then, you know, basing your opinion on someone solely based off their beliefs is not going to lead to being productive. Because how many times have your beliefs changed
a
in
lot.
4 years or 6 years or whatever? So, you know, what you believe in changes, and that some people grow in their beliefs and some people get stuck in a pattern that's self-serving, and people get lost, dude. At the end of the day, people are humans, and people have severe trauma that's locked inside of their bodies, and people liking a certain group of people has a bunch of different motivations, but some people like it because their outlet for this trauma or whatever else happened to them is being rebellious. Like, some of these people don't even believe this stuff. They're just doing it so people will pay attention to them, because people need them to pay attention. And so I think any of these disagreements are rooted in something that's deeper and systematic about how we I kind of foster people into adulthood, and you know, all the way from the way they're born.
Yeah. It's a really complicated. I feel like it's a really complicated topic when you include in that everyone is human at the end of the day, right? And there's disagreements. There's various things that people are challenging one another on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's various groups, and some groups don't fit with others necessarily. Even though I personally think it would be nice if we could somehow just coexist and learn to discuss our issues. But at the end of the day, too, then you have the people where it's like, if you have somebody who says something that's so insane, right? Like, something like, I don't know, like, how would you, like, let's say there was a debate, right? And two people went on, and they were ready to discuss just,
See,
like, reasonable
this
stuff.
is already a scenario.
And what if somebody comes on and says, like, I believe that everyone should die. Like, and then the other person has to go on and be like, wait a second, and has to debate this person, but how are they gonna actually come to, like, agree to disagree? Because you'd be like, I can't even agree to disagree with that. You know, there's certain, like, limits, you know? Like,
yeah.
to the point where you're like, and you cannot like somebody. That's another thing, too. Like, I can say I don't like Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah.
But, like, and someone could say that he likes him, but I think I could still, at that point, still agree to disagree, right? Like, maybe he could make, like, a few arguments where he'd be like, oh, like, you know, he's advanced socially, a platform that has connected a lot of people.
I think you would
say,
never,
sure.
in this an example, you'd never agree to disagree.
I think I would agree on some things that, like, if they were like, okay, Facebook, he's really grown and pioneered a social network that perhaps has connected a lot of people, maybe started even a revolution. I remember learning about that in communications, right? Like, they were using Facebook to kind of advance some of these social messages and spark change in some of these countries, right? And I'd say, okay, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. And then there's another side to the coin of him, like, selling information, undermining democracies around the globe, selling people's personal data.
Getting people hooked on Facebook by giving them free phones that only have Facebook on them.
I haven't heard about the only Facebook phone, but
yeah, and a lot of African countries, they have a program where they'll give people free internet on these phones.
Yeah.
They're not like they don't call people, and the only app you can use to contact people is Facebook.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, so I would say
See,
there's more
yeah.
like there's more cons to outweigh the good, right? But someone could try to argue the point of the good,
Yeah.
and I would say, okay, I can agree to disagree. I still hate Mark Zuckerberg. Like, fuck him.
Yeah.
I would still say that at the end, but I'd say you believing that, like, I can agree to disagree there, you know?
Yeah.
But like, if someone came along and was like, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg should control the world and should kill half the population, then I'd be like, you're getting radical. That's like too much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I'm gonna even come to some agreement there.
But why does an agreement need to get arrived at?
Because I think today it's getting dangerous. Like, it's getting very heated. Like,
Is this
between
person
groups.
acting on this stuff, or is it just their belief? Because people have beliefs that they don't act on, like the government shouldn't be there should be a limit to the amount of money that the government can get to fund political campaigns. Right?
Yeah.
That's a belief, but they don't do shit about it.
Yeah, no, and
They're not investing in it. They're
Well,
not spending their time
politicians
thinking about it.
wouldn't want to anyways. They
I know,
probably-
but I'm
no.
just talking about how beliefs are not acted upon, and then therefore, like, I don't give a shit what you believe. What are you doing? What do you do? You know what I'm saying?
I think when people go and they demonize a side, though, is the problem. You know, when they say, like, this side is the root of all problems in society, or this group is pure evil or something, right? And they start demonizing the other side, and then anyone from that side is immediately somebody who is actually dangerous and not just someone you disagree with, right? When it advances beyond that point, I think things get dangerous, and I think we see it right now where we're at such a hot point because we've just been building this up, and, you know, people are getting polarized online. You know, they're reading stuff that's fake. And then there's certain political groups that want to demonize the other side because having a scapegoat is just easy. And it's turning into this whole thing where scapegoats are dangerous. Like,
Scapegoats and winter coats.
scapegoats and winter coats can be dangerous. Just look at the Nazis, for example. They had a scapegoat and they wore coats with a
Did they?
really bad symbol on them.
They did. And they had mustaches.
And they did have mustaches. So I just think it's like,
So if you have a
it's
mustache,
dangerous.
yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, dude, the whole world is almost unexplainable, but this is what I think. These people are upset about something that they're unaware of. Okay?
Yeah.
These people don't know why they're upset. They're given suggestions about what to be upset about, and they'll be upset. They'll latch on to those ideas and be upset about them because they are not properly educated about what is causing them to be experiencing these feelings and thoughts and life experiences. So, like, in this time of polarization, like, yeah, there's, like, this misinformation shit and there's all this stuff, but people being attached to their cell phones and all of the anxiety surrounding sitting in one spot with your neck craned over and, you know, literally when I use my phone, I literally disappear. Like, my experience of life disappears. I'm enveloped in this experience. So a large portion of people's unrest is due to these technologies, specifically the phones that we can't leave the house without. You know, like, try to just go on a walk without your phone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can, maybe some people can, but this whole thing is really it's really fucked up. So people are feeling this unrest, this anxiety caused by this thing. We're not being educated on it, and then that bubbles up into these large disagreements about things that were just suggestions made by media corporations that literally are brainwashing people because they're not properly educated about it, just information in general.
Yeah, no. Not to mention the motivation to actually have people stay on their phone, right? So if you want someone to stay feeding off of anxiety and fear and anger, right? That gets people to click on something. So if you're gonna have a good article, you're gonna make somebody want to click on it, right? And then it's gonna make them angry, or it's gonna make them scared, and then they're gonna want to click more and keep reading. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna want to keep going, and then you might have to fake some things in this article to try and get somebody more anxious, or tell them exactly what they want to hear, right? Which might be their worst fear,
Yeah.
and therefore they're going to want a reason for it. And when they provide the reason, it's going to be some group, something that's going to be causing this, so that they can go out and they can continue to read into it, continue to feed on it, and keep them in this bubble that basically just keeps them on their phone, on their device, keeps them clicking on things that this algorithm wants them to see.
Yeah. The algorithm is more powerful and knows exactly, um, human behavior. People can believe um, that they have control over their environment, but these devices are way more powerful, and it knows how to uh, extract just chemicals from your like pleasure center. It knows how to access your brain's chemistry and keep you interested because the reward center that biologically was there for survival. So, I mean, yes, you're highlighting the way that the news media will use technology to keep people interested. But my argument partially is people are seeking the news media to give them things to be concerned about because they are already concerned and anxious because these devices are really messing with people's uh, chemistry, uh, attachment to inanimate objects, detachment from living objects. All of those things are happening. And so then they are reaching for some sort of meaning or some sort of reason that they should be feeling this way. And there's a major disconnect between what is causing it and what people are telling them is causing it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I would also add that, I mean, the world that we live in is so high paced, right? Partially due to technology, but there's people are trying to figure out what they're gonna do with their lives, right? There's this idea of like, okay, go to college, or wait, now there's a trade school, or what am I gonna do? I like to do this. Can I do this when I'm older? There's so many factors that people are worrying about constantly, right? And then it's such a high paced world. There's, I think, a looming fear, and I can't speak for everybody, but I think there's a looming fear that the high speed that we're traveling at is going to surpass your own self, because you won't be able to keep up, right? So it's this constant trying to keep up with how fast life is going, and there's um, a kind of need to escape, or you feel like you want to escape sometimes, right? And then there's just a device sitting there that has access to so many different distractions, right? That you can use to escape from whatever you're worrying about.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that is the technology that you're ironically using,
Yeah,
it's also an escape from that thought as well.
100%. And that, I don't I don't know anything about like 12-step programs or addiction. Like I've never had any formal training or actually participated in it. I believe that the system has been very effective for people. And basically what they say is you have like guilt or shame, or you have something in your life that is causing you problems that you need to escape from, and you use these substances. And um, there's addiction to certain types of relationships that are not self-serving, that do not benefit you personally, toxic relationships, porn, food, chocolate, candy, cell phones, cigarettes, crack. I don't know why crack's so funny. Like, I don't even know how bad crack is on the list, you know?
I think it's pretty high up there. Crack. It's up there, I think, with like
I
heroin.
think meth is worse, though, but I don't
Meth,
know.
I think,
But
is,
crack sounds so much funnier.
It does. I don't know why it sounds funny. I think it's because there's so much comedy around it already, right? It's kind of like when someone's like, "Oh, it's a crack addict." Like,
Yeah,
you know, you
smoking
have that.
crack. But yeah, it also crack meth is pretty aggressive too. Anyway, so they have these addictions, and then the 12 steps. Like some of it is like writing down all the people that you've hurt in your life, and then having conversations with all those people, and then having this network of people who are in the same process with you to communicate and mentorship and have positive connections with people in your lives. So definitely what you're talking about, this escapism, is to me generally a product of some sort of an addiction. And so the addiction is actually serving you in a way because you don't know how to properly process whatever sort of thing you're trying to escape from. It can be emotional. I mean, most of it is emotional things that you're not. People don't even say anything to you about emotions. When do they say that? So there needs to be coaching and all this stuff to be able to figure this out. Like, it's not bad to be angry. It's not bad to want to yell at somebody. There just needs to be a proper outlet for it, and also figure out what can I change about myself to not feel angry when somebody does something that I don't like, and also how can I figure out how to put myself in situations where this sort of thing won't happen. But yeah, escaping. So the addiction serves you. The goal is to figure out not to stop smoking, because smoking is helping you avoid this thing. How do you approach this thing and resolve it to where you don't need to escape from it? And that's kind of the thought process of it.
Definitely, yeah. And it's hard in a world where phones haven't really been classified as something that can be addicting. There's been research done on it, and we're starting to realize it's a very addictive device, right?
Yeah.
But it hasn't reached that stage where we've acknowledged that there's people who have real problems.
Yes.
And they don't know how to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck on their phone. And as a society, it's accepted to be addicted to your phone, I think, to a sense, versus someone who says, like, I'm addicted to this drug, or I'm addicted to food, or we've recognized that that's a problem, right? But phones were kind of still on that, like, new phase where people are saying, well, it's normal if someone's on their phone, like, 24/7, right? There's really no establishment of maybe you need to control this. But another thing is that, like food, right? Like some drugs, people just cut cold turkey and they can't go back because it's addicting. Like alcohol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people can have it every now and then, but some people, once they get addicted, that's it. They have to cut it out.
Yeah.
But you can't cut out things like food, right? People who are addicted to, junk food, sure. But phones, nobody can just take the phone out of their diet, right? So if someone has a severe addiction to it, you can't take this element out of your life because it's needed for work. It's needed for so many things. The best you can do is try to control it. But imagine if we're going to compare the phone to like a drug, like alcohol, right? Can you imagine, like, you have to drink this every now and then, but you're an addict, so be careful, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really challenging.
It's an interesting, like...
So it can't be abstinence-based recovery.
Yeah.
And so some of these, like all of the 12-step programs, as I know, Alcoholics Anonymous and all these other ones, they are Narcotics Anonymous. They are abstinence-based recovery. You don't do it anymore. You come to these meetings, and we'll take you through the steps. There's other recovery programs that allow you to do it, and you're being monitored, and sometimes you stay at a location like a rehab facility, and you can work your way through it. There's alternate phones you have that don't have access to social media and has limited internet access, and so it's just like just a phone, texting, and limited internet access. And that seems to, that's a different one. It's a smaller phone. It's just bare bones, So that's an option. But then it's like most of the people that are hyper addicted they're living their social lives through this device. They participate Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. They're participating in their group of friends and larger group of people they interact with through this device. So you're going to lose socially if you don't do this thing. And once you do it enough, you get depleted. And then there's this cycle of addiction that we're talking about. So, yeah, it's very pervasive and very deeply rooted in social culture and just generally the way we live our lives now. So, yeah.
There is that dopamine rush too of like, since I've been doing the social medias, like TikTok at least and Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Twitter, you can't get much traction there, but for TikTok, I'm understanding how people get addicted to stuff like that, right? Because like you're posting something, it's getting likes, right? You're like, ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen next time, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like a form of gambling almost even. Like you don't know what you're gonna get, but not like rather than winning money, you're winning attention or people saying like I like that, right? Like praising the content, and so you're getting like this reinforcement or this excitement that people like, oh, they like it, they like what they're seeing, right? And so you're getting appeasement from your peers, it's other people are saying good job in a way, and that's reinforcing something that naturally in your brain wants to be liked or wants to be told that what they're doing is good or that they're doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this giant cogwheel. But since I've started to notice it, I've kind of been. It's important to do that because when you're doing something like this, right, we have to be posting on there. We have to post. We have to get our stuff out there because that's how you grow. That's how you try to branch out. So it's necessary. And that's another thing, too. Sometimes social media is a job, right? Like, I'm viewing it as a job posting these TikToks, right?
Yeah.
Of the podcast. But then I'm thinking to myself, I got to be aware that it's an addicting cycle. And I have to, take a step back and just recognize that it's a job and I can't get too caught up in it. I can get excited that something got a lot of likes or that we gained new followers, right? But I can't
be invested. It's hard to be healthy and do it. So what the more successful people is, they hire a social media manager and they're not deep in the social media web, but they'll still have the presence and the draw from it. So yep, dude, I totally know. I mean, I guess you didn't do Facebook at first was I had that same experience, and then Instagram. But people, it's hard because you want people to like you, and I guess it's to a certain degree it's important for people to like you. I guess. I mean, you got to be around other people, right?
That's important, yeah.
Like being in isolation. Humans are meant to interact and connect with each other. So you're going to do it. We're hardwired to want people to like us. We can change how much that need affects us on an emotional level. But at the end of the day, that the whole thing is set up for you to want to do that thing more, because if you do that thing more, they can sell you more things. So if they can sell you more things, they can make more money. They can spend more money getting you convinced to do more things.
Yeah.
And now Facebook owns Instagram.
Marky Mark.
Google owns YouTube. And that's crazy.
I will just say, man, Mark, God, I just, sometimes I think about it. I think about, like, if Mark really, like, wanted to make this, right, possible for all of us, right? If he decided to remake Facebook when it was first starting, right, and he thought to himself, okay, I can make a profit off of this, but I can also connect people and have all the good values in there, right? But I can put in safety guards to make sure that this doesn't get out of hand, right? Or you could have done some research in it, hired some like research lab to say, okay, what are the effects on the brain with this, right? And he knew, is the other thing, he was like, people, this is addicting. So that's profit. We need to increase the profit margins. If he could say, like, we're going to make a profit, but we're also going to prioritize our users, our customers, We're going to prioritize them and make sure that they're, living healthy lives. They can still use it, businesses use it. People use it to socialize. Great. These are great things, right? Advertisement, great, but if he could have just thought from the beginning, like I always think, I always imagine like him, like a little college dude coming up, yeah, finally, I made my thing, I can make $1 billion. Like, I just imagine, like, I just like, I want to like walk up to him and just like punch him in the face and be like, hey, why weren't you thinking about people when you made this product? Why can't you be a good businessman? I'd be a good businessman. I'd say we can make profit, but we can also prioritize people,
Yeah, there's gotta be some user safety protocols or guidelines. There has to be like like the FDA regulates the food and shit and drugs, I guess. Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah.
There needs to be an internet and something else administration regulations on how you can treat people and amount of time that they're actually legally allowed to be on a certain website.
Yeah, and what methods?
Because I mean,
they're
dude,
allowed to
after about 30 minutes, you're never gonna be in a good spot if you're still on there.
That's very true. Yeah, you probably won't be feeling the greatest.
Never.
I even know. Yeah,
Yeah. So what I really want to know is, do you people, do you even like being on your phone ever?
I sometimes
do you even like it?
Like when I'm like connecting with somebody or like gaining important information about like setting something
on social media. Do you ever go on Instagram or TikTok and have a good time?
If
I always have a bad time.
If it does well, then I'm like, yay. But if it doesn't, then it's like
you're
most
posting.
of the time.
So I'm talking about, and maybe you don't have a personal thing. Maybe this is just for the people, but if you're going on there just to look at other people's stuff, do you ever have a good time? I don't think I've ever had a good time. I swear I have not.
See, I don't do a lot of surfing on those platforms. I mainly post. I'll look at a few things. Maybe people that I follow, right? I'll check out what they're doing. I'll be like, cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not spending a whole lot of time on there. I like seeing what people that I follow do, because I know them or they make something that I think's funny. That's the enjoyment out of it for me. But if I'm just scrolling, I don't do that because.
But it happens on YouTube too, right? Sometimes you're watching YouTube and you're not having a good time.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you'll be on there and you'll just realize, like, what am I doing on here? I'm just passing the time,
Yeah.
I will think definitely, like, I'm just, like, that's what actually gets me usually to, like, stop, like, watching something sometimes, because I get anxious. Like, I have this thing where if I'm not doing something that's productive or, like, there's different projects that I can always be working on, right? And if I'm not working on them, I get anxious. Like, I won't feel motivated maybe in the morning or something, or maybe I'll feel just terrible motivation for a day, right? But then, like, after, like, too long of that sits in, I get anxious. I start, like, and the problem is, like, it takes me, like, I have to break out of it and then start, like, working on stuff to actually make myself feel better. Which, it's nice, but sometimes it's also really terrible, because if there's nothing to do, or if there's, if I've already completed something, right, or, like, I'm not motivated, then it's, like, it just is this building pressure where I'm, like, there's nothing to do, no motivation, and then eventually it's like a giant, like, pop, and I just start working on something. because it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you ever experience that? Like if
I don't know about this pop or whatever, but definitely if there's nothing to do for like 5 hours, it's gonna like, I'm gonna want to use the YouTube, and I deleted Instagram for this problem, but I'll like scroll through the suggested on YouTube and, going down a rabbit hole of just some garbage. But I don't have any routine set in place to where if there's 5 hours of free time, I can fill it with something. Right now, my schedule is pretty erratic. So, I don't know. Like, one day I want to do nothing, but doing nothing turns into. I like listening to podcasts and getting ideas, but it has to happen in the right frame for me. Same with listening to music. Sometimes listening to music, I just get lost, and it's just like it's the same as watching a video. It's just like I disappear. Or if I'm actively participating in the music, I'm having a great time. So it doesn't really matter what's happening. It's about how I'm engaging in it. And yeah, it just is not it's not fun. It's not fun. And it doesn't matter if that disappeared. There will always be things until I figure out. And it's not all a mental thing. Like there's like some emotional problems, whatever, emotional blockages that manifest themselves as physical. They manifest themselves physically. So like somebody who is, let's say they're 85 and they felt like they had to brace themselves against the entire world that was coming at them, and they had to face it head on. At the end of their life, they'll be like this because they had to stick their neck out to face all of these things coming at them. Right?
I just had this. I don't know. I had this like image of like some like really elongated neck
Yeah.
person. It's not. I mean, it's not
like
that
an
would
ostrich.
That would be sad. Yeah, I just had the ostrich when you said that, but no, it's sad when you think about it too. At the same time, I mean the imagery of someone with a super long neck, elongated, is funny. I don't know why that popped in my head, but the idea of somebody like suffering physically because they've gone through a lot of trauma is sad.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even suffering. It's just it reduces your body's ability to function at the highest level. So like one of these things that I've done is like there's some I don't know if I call it research, but there's some like healing modalities, let's say, that talk about the correlation between scars and scar tissue and emotional trauma that may lead to some sort of physical trauma. And so I've had experience like extreme emotional releases from these modalities, specifically addressing these scar and scar tissue things that occur in my body. I have like 3 scars on this one finger. The bottom of each one of my foot has a scar on it. Every single human's belly button is a scar because the umbilical cord was cut. And so those scars over time will constrict and reduce your body's ability to be mobile. And when you're not able to use your body, then you can, your emotions can, be constricted and locked down. So it's not only a mental thing. I need to stop doing this so I'll have this experience. Like my body needs to let go of these things so I can like freely, participate in life and experience that.
Yeah. No, I think it's impossible to go through life too without having that trauma. I don't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everyone has to experience in their life at some point some form of trauma, and trauma is relative to people too. That's
Sure.
another thing. So somebody can't go and say that something isn't traumatic when it could be to somebody else, you know? Especially when it's based on a whole life that someone has lived, right? That no one else can experience the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It just, it's a rocky journey, and then people don't even sometimes know how to handle, like the trauma and the stresses,
Mm-hmm.
or the damage that they've done to their body over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult, trying to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So, if anybody is wondering what I'm talking about, let me know. But all I'm saying is, it's not. Everybody seems to care about doing online therapy. That's great. There are some like tools you can gain to have better communication and, to process your experiences and the way you view the world. So that's one category, right? Processes and tools. Another category is your body. Your body functions and how emotions can get blocked into your body, and there are very many treatments, doctors you can go to relieve this trauma in a physical sense that has nothing to do with going to therapy and maybe crying or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's different. It's just happening in your body. It's stuck there. You can get it unstuck. You don't have to mentally figure it out. The third category that I'm just learning about is your brain doesn't work. Your brain didn't develop properly because of a multitude of reasons, but there are ways to develop your brain properly to where you're not having these issues like therapy, resolving issues through therapy. It's like training your brain to be fully developed. It's as simple as like some people have a hard time reading because where their eye tracking is in their brain wasn't fully developed, and people have a really hard time reading. And people like try to hire tutors, and they'll try, teach my kid how to read. Like, this is bad. They're in 4th grade. They can't read. Their brain is messed up. But then that not being able to read can affect them for the rest of their lives. And they'll have all sorts of emotional blockages physically, and also things that they may want to work out in a framing way through therapy. But you could just fix that training your brain to work properly. So there's all sorts of these outlets, and it's not all like, there are options. They're just not they're not on the internet, and they're not being taught in schools. And so, I obviously don't have, those are the 3 categories I know about, and I'd love to talk about with any person if they'd like to figure out like what to do about it. And obviously I don't know everything, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's no such thing, I think, as one solution to a problem, right? I think people seek out multiple different solutions sometimes before they find one that actually like works or was the right solution, right?
Yeah.
Like what you were saying, like sometimes somebody is trying to find a solution where a solution doesn't exist, or there's no what they're trying, or they try multiple things, let's say, right? They try like 10 different things and it doesn't work. And sometimes that can be really difficult, because then it feels like there's no hope.
Yeah.
And I felt this before too. You'll be searching for an answer. You'll be searching for some fix to your problem or some sort of solution. And when you search multiple different sources, especially when you put in the time to search for it, you're trying to find out some way to fix it. And it feels like there's no options available, right? You feel like alone because there's nothing out there or nobody that knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And I guess it takes people a long time to find that, because some people will try something and it won't work, and they have to keep on going. And that's kind of the difficulty of it. If you try a ton of things and it doesn't work, it can feel really bad, It doesn't feel great when you feel like everything that you're trying isn't working. And the thing to remember, I think, that's important is to keep trying until you find that thing and be open to new experiences. Because if you haven't tried it and you tried and it works, that's great. Your journey of trying different things has finally reached an end or some kind of a start of a solution. Because even that's going to take time just solving it.
Mm-hmm.
And just like there's some things where like it's not even it could be a mix of a physical problem and an emotional problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to get over this trauma through multiple different forms of therapy, you know,
Yeah.
including possible traditional therapy if you really need to like talk it out. But within just traditional therapy, there's so many different categories, right? And you can try one therapist and that therapist won't work for you. You can try another
Yeah.
one, that person won't work. You might have to try same thing with like physical therapists, same thing with the therapists in the categories you talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like one might not work and you might have to go to another one and you might have
Yeah.
to keep on trying within these categories
Yeah.
to try and find something that's going to help appease the problems that you're having.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And also, the the bottom line of whatever I was saying before was, you're not liking what's happening in your life, and that is not only because of other people and the way and something on that's going wrong with you mentally. Your body is not working properly, and nobody has told you how to make it function properly. And so, there are options out there for you, but it's going to take going to a new place to look for that. So just my experience with this one type of therapy, it's called neural therapy. And I don't know how to describe it fully. Basically, you get an injection, it releases the scar tissue, okay? I got it into my belly button. Huge emotional release. I extreme amount of anxiety and stress around a lot of social situations because I'm trying to get people to like me and, try to control a situation. For 2 weeks after this treatment, time slowed down. Literally, it went to 0.25 speed of what it was before. And I could finally just chill out and relax because I wasn't so tense. And so that had nothing to do with something I was psychologically, had nothing to do with that. But yeah, that's just one experience that you can have. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that, and I think it's important for people to know that there are options, and so that's just, I'm trying to put the options out there.
Yeah, yeah. I like if there's anything that I guess I've learned through just experiencing different things, I think it's always best to keep your mind open, especially if you're looking for answers or you're looking for some solution to something. I think having an open mind is the best policy because you can find the best solution for whatever you're experiencing. So I try and do that. Sometimes I put off even searching for solutions, or I'll search for something, right, that could help. And then I search so much, eventually I'm just putting a pause on that,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so much searching, it can be exhausting. But generally, as I've been going forward in life, I've been trying to just keep a very
What do you
open
mean?
mind, and
What do
that's
you
how
mean
I found.
searching though?
Just searching for I don't know. I feel like life in general is kind of a search for not only answers but even solving past problems or past traumas and things like that, right? And when something comes up, you'll think I should maybe try and find some way to whether it's just me doing it by myself or actively seeking out a person or some kind of a treatment or something like that, right? You think you're constantly, I think, doing that throughout your life. No one's gonna just like fix all their problems in their life in the snap of a second.
Mm-hmm.
It can even be talking with a close friend, right? You have people have problems, obstacles in their life that they're trying to get over. Sometimes they can manage to do it by themselves. Sometimes though, it takes some help, some assistance, right? But I'm just saying, going forward, searching for help getting over certain obstacles or moving forward, right? Being more open, I find just to be the best policy because you just allow uh, as many possibilities as possible to come into your life, which will allow you to, I think, move just more freely. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, that's
Yes. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty intense. I want to say thank you to the listeners. Um, I want to know who you are.
yeah.
Why
I'd
don't you
like to
tell
know
us?
what you're doing. I've been seeing the subscriber count going up. We got up to on the Clips channel, we got up to 30,
Dude,
and then it went down to 29. And
Yeah.
someone didn't like. I know what video it was. Someone didn't like what Ariana Grande was saying in one of the clips. I think I have a feeling.
Was it the Chinese government?
I don't know. It could have been. And
Was it
maybe
the
the
second-
Do you think
was
they
it-
subscribed?
Was it the second Ariana clip or the first one?
I think it was the third one because there's
Oh.
3 up there. The thing is that I saw a comment too, but it disappeared.
What's the comment say?
Well, it said I couldn't read the whole thing because you know how you get it in your notifications, right? So I clicked on it. I went to the video.
Oh,
no
was gone.
comment.
What did the first part say?
It said something like, "I know this is like a joke or something or like a funny thing, but it seems kind of disrespectful of you to it sounds like you're making fun of Ariana." There was like this little thing that started that way, and I went to it, and it sounds like she must have deleted it. Either
Yeah.
that or YouTube, but it wasn't anything mean, so I didn't know why it was gone. Maybe she just maybe she watched the whole thing and then she thought like, oh, they're not making fun,
Yeah.
because it was Ariana who was really there.
Mm-hmm.
I even said in the previous clip, I said they're just gonna make themselves look stupid if they try and say it's not Ariana, because it is.
Yeah.
And she was saying that she was trying to open up to the public, and it just goes to show that some people can't handle people trying to speak openly about things.
Yeah. They can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I just can't.
But I
believe it.
want you to say what your name is in the comments. Because
and like and comment, because it boosts the video rating. So if you like and you comment, YouTube likes the interaction and knows that you like it, and they'll promote it to more people. So
yeah, and tell your friends, and if just like we're getting like 10 or 12 viewers on these episodes, the hot ones got almost 20, maybe 20 now.
ooh, nice, that's good. That's
You
good.
watch the episode and you tell somebody about it. You post on the internet about it. You do stuff and you tell people, and we do more stuff, and ask us questions to answer on the show, and we'll do more stuff. But this is a lot of episodes we've done, okay? And you need to watch it, and you need to tell people about it, and you tell people about it and put on the internet.
That's right. Yeah. I get it too. If you're not somebody who watches, again, like if you're not a podcast watcher, like at least subscribe to the highlights. Like at this point, I don't know why it's been doing more popular. I don't know why the subscribers have been going up at a faster rate. I don't know if people have shorter attention spans, which is fine. If you're like that, I don't want to make fun of you. I sometimes do too, okay? Like, yeah, I'm not always watching all the podcasts out there, but if you think, like, this bit, I like this bit. Even if there's 10 minutes that you like, chances are it's on the highlights channel somewhere, right? And if you like the podcast, you watch the whole thing, why don't you just like? Just like, subscribe, comment, and hey, maybe tell a friend who likes long podcasts.
And I But I even like it before I watch it. But I'm in it, so I don't know.
Yeah, we might be biased, possibly, but
I don't know. I think some of these bits are just really funny.
I think so too.
And sometimes you're being funny, and I can't even tell when I'm here. It's only funny when we watch back.
I know what you mean. I find that for many bits that both of us do, I don't know it's funny until I'm watching it back.
Yeah.
Even sometimes serious bits. There'll be like a funny bit that wasn't intended to be in that. Like this is a very serious episode. Like especially the middle part was very serious, but it's impossible to know how it's gonna turn out.
These damn ostriches.
Ostracized ostriches.
Okay, well, this is a new segment.
Called.
Wait, this is a new segment called This is new.
A new segment.
Wait, this is new segment.
This is new segment. This isn't the new segment called new segment. Is this new segment?
No, this is a segment called new segment, and that's the segment. Whoa.
Oh wow! Dang, oh, man, look at that.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Not again.
I love that. Whenever that comes up, that's just.
Okay. The first person to say the alphabet backwards will think of a number between 1 and 10.
Oh man.
Okay. If the other person guesses it, they go. The person that didn't guess it goes, and they go into the river up to their knees.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. There's one rule on this show that I think is like always had to be true is you can never argue with new segment.
Yeah,
That's
that's actually the only rule.
That's the only rule of new segment. Yeah, I think that's why it's so unique too. Not to mention we're the only podcast, fun fact, that actually like that title screen that you see that actually is happening.
Yeah.
We don't actually edit that in. That just flies into the van. So it's pretty special.
Yeah, new technology.
That's right.
Okay, so you do the alphabet backwards, and then whoever gets there first picks a number between 1 and 10. The other person will guess the number. If the person guesses the number right, the person that counted, the person that chose the number will go into the river.
If they choose it right.
If the person guesses right, the other person goes.
Oh, gotcha. But if they guess wrong, then that person goes. And we're counting backwards in the alphabet.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be really chaotic, but all right, here we go.
Okay.
Z, Y, X. I think we're going to follow each other. R.
W.
Oh, W, X. Oh, I got it wrong. W.
V.
V. V.
U, T.
U, T.
S.
S.
R, Q.
R, Q. I don't even know if this is right.
P.
P. O.
M. N.
L. O, N.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
That was L. O, N.
It was N, M, L.
N, M, L. Okay.
K, J.
I.
H.
G.
E. D.
What about
C,
F?
B, A. Did I not say F?
I don't know. I thought I was too busy counting. Maybe I missed it. I might have missed the F. I feel like that. I feel like that was really bad.
It's
That
hard
was really
unless
bad
you
memory,
practice.
yeah. And then when police officers are asking people to, like, count back from the alphabet, that's like a thing.
They don't do that.
I don't think they do that, but you know how like that's like a stereotype that they'll like ask people to do that
Yeah,
when they
count
pull
by
them over.
sevens or something.
Yeah, or I've heard count back from the alphabet. I don't know, maybe if that's just a made up thing.
I'm
but
not gonna do that.
yeah, I wouldn't do it either. But imagine you're asking someone drunk to do that, to count back from the alphabet. You think they're gonna do that? A
No.
sober person's
No,
not
they-
gonna do that.
They have better ways of testing if you're drunk or not. But
That's what I
anyway,
would
now I'm
think.
gonna pick a number between 1 and 10.
Okay.
But it didn't make sense because why would I want to win that first challenge?
I don't know.
Okay, but that's the rule. So, okay, say it.
You got it.
Say it on 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
2. Ooh.
Oh, it's close. Not quite though.
Yeah. So we're not going in.
No.
So that was the new segment.
New segment.
The segment was called Backwards Alphabet River Run.
Alphabet backwards, river run. I like that. It's nice.
Well, if you could do it faster, comment, lick my ass. If
With an A, and a lick 'em my ass.
Yeah, and
Like that.
if you thought we looked stupid, say, "Hey, Jesse's got a rectangular dick."
That's right. Going back to the other episode too. Watch that one as well. Look at that. I don't know if the camera can see this, but look at that rectangular dick. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know why it goes around that way, but what can you do?
What are you gonna do? Okay, so thanks for watching this episode. If you want more of these and stuff like that, then go on there and push these buttons, and they say, okay, we're gonna tell you about the episodes, but only if you want it, because if you don't have the notifications on, it's not gonna send you the link. But watch this episode and come back for another episode later, because I don't know.
And hey, if you missed the musical segments, you best comment bop in the comments.
Yeah, comment Bob if you want the episodes to have music. And
Yeah,
and they can,
freestyles.
but we need more music. So submit them.
Submit your beats, son.
Yeah, send the beats. Hey, my name is there's a guy named Sean that could send some beats. There's a guy named what is his name? There's another guy,
Colonel Sanders. He's subscribed.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. Chicken Man.
Wait, did you watch the Bo Burnham thing finally?
No,
Jesus, dude.
I haven't seen it. I know. I need to get it. I need to get around to it.
Yeah.
I'm building up. I'm building up to it.
Yeah, because there's a song near the end, like the third to last song. It's like a campfire song, and he talks about Colonel Sanders.
Interesting. Duck and fried chicken.
There's a female Colonel Sanders now.
I think I've heard about that.
Yeah.
There was a ton of different Colonel Sanders. Like there was a romantic Colonel Sanders. Like they made a romance movie thing or short film. Just some weird stuff going on with the Chicken Man.
Finger.
Licking good.
Well, who's licking it? It's too graphic.
Probably the woman Colonel Sanders might be licking his fingers. I know it's not the
That's
best
terrible.
thing to think about. I know it's pretty bad, but
That's awful.
what they want to do in their house, that's up to them. You know, I can't judge them.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for watching, and listen to this. If you are a person, then do your stuff right.
Do it.
Mhm.
Do it right.
Don't finger licking good.
Yeah, don't finger lick your good either, because I want to keep that good in the good.
Yeah, that good.
Some of that good.
Yeah, that dank. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you.
When you subscribe.